Hi everyone, my name is Janey Piroli, graduate from the University of Guelph, 1996 School of Engineering, also a former rugby player and a wrestler. And today I'm going to lead you through a 10-minute mindful break. And for this one, we're going to have a little fun today. We're going to do a few little experiments. So here's one for you just to get started. I'm going to invite you to bring to mind two people who you either work with every day or you engage with often. So have them in mind. Can you think of these two people? Excellent. Now I want you to lower your gaze and I want you to bring to mind the first person and then silently say to yourself, I wish you to be happy. And now bring to mind the second person and silently in your mind repeat again, I wish for you to be happy. And now I'm going to invite you to turn your attention inward towards yourself and then silently offer that same wish. I wish for you to be happy. Okay, now fully opening your eyes and coming back to me, yeah? And just taking a moment to reflect on that experience. So what did you notice? How many of you felt just a little bit happier after you did this practice or while you were doing this practice? Yeah, so some of you may have noticed that even with a simple, very simple act of wishing others well, you felt a little bit happier, right? You had a little bit of a lift inside. Okay, so today, that's what we're going to talk about, just briefly, about well-being and happiness. Because as you saw from the exercise, it can be a little easier than we think. Yeah, but it often kind of sometimes feels difficult. And I'm also going to talk about why that is, right? And how we can work with our minds to develop more well-being. Okay, great. So, another little kind of experiment. I'm going to ask you now to imagine you're giving a talk to 10 people. 9 of them, they're smiling and they're nodding. And there's that one who's sitting there with their arms crossed, looking a little bored. Yep. Mm-hmm. Who are you going to be thinking about the most in this situation? Yeah, me too. Yeah, so this is the example of our brain's negativity bias. Okay? And so our brains are actually wired to emphasize the negative, to actually notice the negative, the things that could be disappointments for us, and it overlooks the good, right? The good things in our lives. So in that situation, 9 people were smiling and nodding at you, yet I guarantee that the majority of you were like me and were focused on the one, right? And so in terms of survival and evolution, it totally makes sense. Because if you missed out on something good, like some food in the moment, you probably could have found more food later. But if you missed out on escaping a predator, those lions and tigers and bears, lights out, right? You weren't going to survive. And so in the words of Dr. Rick Hanson, he is an author of a book called Hardwiring Happiness. He says the brain is like Velcro for the bad, Teflon for the good. So it's like Velcro for the bad and Teflon for the good. So the bad things that happen, they really stick in our minds. And you might experience that you ruminate for days sometimes about them, right? Because to survive, you couldn't forget. But then on the flip side, when something good happens, we often just let it slide by without sometimes even really noticing it. Yeah, true? Yeah, so what do we do about that? Well, one thing that he suggests is that what we have to do is intentionally pause to notice and appreciate those little moments of goodness. You have to allow them to really sink in, right? So instead of letting them pass by, your brain captures them and it turns them into these positive experiences that you savor and you appreciate. Okay, and that's how it counters this natural negativity bias, is that you notice the good. So maybe it's the sensation of a cold drink running down your throat, right? Or the smell of coffee first thing in the morning. Maybe it's the warmth of the sun on your face, appreciating the giggle of a small child, or maybe it's all that love and attention that you get from your best furry friend. But whatever the moment is, it's just taking the time to really savor and appreciate it, right? And what you're doing is you're starting to cultivate or develop this habit of appreciation and gratitude, which in turn leads to higher levels of happiness and well-being. Okay, so I'm going to run you through a very simple practice for today. Okay, and in this practice, I'm going to invite you to, once again, to either close your eyes, or if it's more comfortable for you, to just rest your gaze gently towards the desk, table, or floor in front of you. I'm just going to invite you to recognize and appreciate some simple moments of well-being. Okay, so if you're ready, finding a posture or checking in with your posture, I want you to find a way to sit or stand where you're feeling both alert but relaxed. So relax so that you can sit relatively still for a few minutes, and alert so that you're not falling asleep on me. And you might have your feet on the floor, your hands on your thighs, just allowing the spine to lift and the shoulders to relax. And bringing your attention now to your breath. And just noticing that we're breathing in and we're breathing out. And just taking a few moments to settle our attention, focus on the breath, and just get grounded in this moment. And now we're going to transition to noticing goodness. And I'm going to invite you to start by noticing some small things around you that are good right now. Right? We're present. Our attention is focused on this moment. And we're breathing in clean air. You're safe. We're all safe. And our lungs are helping us to take in this moment. And thinking about our precious hearts that are beating. Gosh, they've been beating since the day we were born. And we've made time for ourselves today to pause and to focus on our health and well-being. And we're grateful for the many relationships that we have in our life. And we're grateful for the experience of love and of connection that we have with others, our family, our friends, our colleagues. I'm going to invite you to take a moment with each inhale and to think of something good that is around you. What are the things that come to mind naturally? And if nothing comes, you can always notice gratitude for breathing in oxygen. Maybe even allowing the lips to form a gentle half smile for yourself. Okay, so just taking a few more breaths to do this on your own, to continue to think about something good that is around you and in your life. And in these final moments, just checking in with yourself, noticing how you're feeling now. And just inviting you to slowly open your eyes and bring your attention back to the space that you're in. Back with me here. Yeah. All right, welcome back. Yeah, so this was a simple practice, really, that emphasized two ways that mindfulness supports well-being. So the first is about simply being present, right? Attending fully to what you're doing. You're not thinking too much about the past. You're not worried too much about the future. You're just here in this moment, right? And then the second is really noticing these moments of goodness, right? And they're just simple ones, right? Like the one where you're just noticing the breath, right? The gratitude from just simply breathing. Okay, so that's where we're going to close for today. But before I let you go, I'm going to leave you with a little challenge of wishing others well. So what this means is that I challenge you to choose one person that you see or connect with almost every day. And yeah, so it could be someone you work with, someone you encounter regularly. Maybe it's the barista at Starbucks. It could be a neighbor. Just bring that person to mind. For some of you, it could even be somebody who maybe is challenging you a little bit lately. And every day, what I invite you to do is just silently wish for this person to be happy when you see them. Okay? Or if you don't see them regularly, just visualize them, bring them to mind, wish them the same, wish them to be happy. And then over the course of the week, my invitation to you is to notice how your own mood and or your sense of connection with this person changes. Okay? So with that, I wish you well, everyone. Have a great day. Take care.